What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're coming at you with another member voted upon video. Got a lot of votes for this one. It was just as many votes as the summer vacation video that came out the previous day of this video. So we've got 10 cheap fragrances that will fill a room in 5 sprays or less. Now, the caveat is these are these bottles sprayed on my skin. So there's no guarantee that they'll do the same for you. Then there's also that chance that it will do the same for you. So as you know, everybody's experience is different, but we have a few designers. We've got some affordable Middle Eastern stuff. We've got something for everybody as far as scent profiles. For sure, we can get a little bit of indie in here. So let's discuss them. Stay tuned. Starting with one that's pretty new to my collection that I wouldn't recommend going more than 5 sprays unless you're really trying to make a statement here. Outdoor settings is the only time I would spray more than 5 sprays of Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum Leather Aquatic. As simple as that sounds is what this scent profile is, and it is super strong. A nice, rich, robust, almost somewhat earthy leather accord, woody tone. Still has that saltwater marine quality, a little bit of fruity freshness to it, but not all that sweet. A little bit of fruitiness here. This is lovely. This is a lovely, slightly unique blue fragrance. I don't have any, I got a ton of blue fragrances in my collection. A lot. None of them smell like this. So it's nice when you can come across something so versatile and mass appealing that doesn't smell like a bunch of other things in your collection to create a lot of redundancy. And I know a lot of people love the strong fragrances, and this is arguably the strongest blue fragrance I own, I think. Yeah, because if I had another one, it'd probably be in here. That means there's some other blues, but as far as designer blues, this is easily the strongest one I have. If you haven't tried this one yet, you can get it for a really good price. I picked this up from Fragrance Buy not that long ago. Definitely check this out. This is one of the better releases of 2022 as far as designers are concerned. Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum. This next one kind of renders Oud for Greatness kind of useless for me because I really like the way this one's composed. Now, it's not one-to-one with Oud for Greatness, but it's clear that's what they were going for. This is from Afnan in the Supremacy line. This is called Supremacy and Oud. You get a little bit more saffron out of this than you would, a little bit more of that Baccarat Rouge 540 feel than you typically do from even actual Oud for Greatness. This is good stuff, though. Whew. Strong, though. Sweet, woody, a little spiced, little bit of a funkiness, not so much. This is overall mass appealing, easy to like I said, a little bit of that kind of astringent funkiness to it. But this is good stuff. I've never sprayed it more than 4 times because there is literally no need for it. This is a monster performer off of my skin. Longevity is crazy. It's there until I scrub it off of my skin, and then, like I said, it's a room filler at 4 sprays for me personally. And you can get this one for a really good price. $40 to $50 range is what you can expect to pay for this one. And in my opinion, it's the best way to go if you want something in the realm of Oud for Greatness. Quality's really good on this one. That's why I'm such a big fan of a lot of Afnan's fragrances, especially ones like this. And not only intense quality, I find to be really good on them. And performance, like I said, it's kind of lights out. So you have to like that style. If you're a fan of the Oud for Greatness / a little bit of Baccarat Rouge 540 type of feel, if you like those style fragrances and you're just looking for an affordable take that doesn't sacrifice much in quality and ramps up the performance, you're going to want to check out Afnan Supremacy and Oud. Now, this is one I haven't reached for in a while, and I'm just starting to revisit. It's a honey-violet combination. A very sweet, floral, powdery, very woodsy type of fragrance. Again, I've never sprayed this one more than 5 sprays. I typically do 3 to 4 sprays when I spray it because it's just ridiculous. It is Roberto Cavalli's Uomo. So they've spawned a bunch of flankers in this line. There we go, it focused. This is a 60 ml. The only one I have besides this is the Silver Essence, which has some violet leaf and some iris going on, or orris technically, which is iris root. Just so delicious. If you're a fan of violet dominant fragrances that don't have that petroleum vibe, don't think Fahrenheit. Very dominant violet though. with this thick, sweet honey, and like I said, some woods. There's other notes, but that's the main things that jump out to me. Not the most masculine fragrance out there, but it does have a masculine tone. Kind of a sweet floral that was built for men, basically. I mean, it's literally called Uomo. It is the namesake for this particular men's line from Roberto Cavalli. Does not get any love anymore. I actually did a full review on my channel years ago on this one. Still a big fan of it. I'm just starting to revisit it, kind of reaching back in the collection, and it was a perfect fit for this video topic. If you haven't checked this one out, it might be a diamond in the rough hidden gem that you want to discover. It's Roberto Cavalli, Uomo. Now, you'll hear everybody talk about juice colors and batch codes and all that stuff. The first time I got this, I sprayed 5 sprays and learned that I had to dial it back. Now, I don't wear more than 4 sprays, and it's ridiculously nuclear performing on my skin. It's Rasasi Hawas. Spicy Invictus, basically. It's a 4 sprayer for me. I could easily get away with 2 or 3 sprays, and people would still smell me. It's a sweet bubblegum aquatic with some spice. It even has a little bit of a resinous Oriental Middle Eastern feel to it. A little smoky on my skin, even though there's no notes in the breakdown to attribute to a smoky nuance. I do get a little bit of that on my skin. I did a full review on this one a while back. I featured it several times on the channel. It's great. Typically, you can expect USD to pay in the anywhere from the $40 to $60 price point. I think it's a fair price in that range. Would people like it to be cheaper? Sure. But, I mean, what you're getting for your money with performance and just how good it is to smell, it is on the synthetic side. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't smell super expensive. But it's super attractive out in the air. It will pull in some compliments because I know it's very important to a lot of people. And it's super versatile. It's not too sweet and cloying for the summertime. You can wear this one year-round. I'm a big fan of this one. And like I said, I actually had to dial it back from 5 sprays to 4 because it's just so monstrous on my skin. Again, that's Rasasi Hawas. So speaking of that Afnan quality that I talked about with Supremacy and Oud, the quality is so much better than the original. This is cloning. This clones Jean-Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. We're talking about 9 p.m. So I'm an advocate for this one. It has this fruity apple tone to it. Get it to focus. That would be great. There we go. Has this fruity apple tone. Still has all that cinnamon spice, the sweetness and everything. You lose the fresh pear from the original and gain this fruity apple smell, but it's just smoother overall. And it's ridiculous. This is another one that's no more than 4 sprays for me. This literally, it could fill a room at 2 sprays. It's crazy how strong this is. It smells so good. And you can typically find this one in the $25 to $35 range, like 26 to 30 typically is what I usually see it for. Absolute steal at that price point. This fragrance is probably it's hard to say best bang for your buck because there's a few of them that are really good bang for your buck in this price bracket, but I mean everything in here, that's why they're in here. But if you want monstrous performance with really good quality, just smooth, fruity, spicy, sweet, a little bit of woods obviously, but mainly fruity, spicy, and sweet. If any of that sounds attractive and you want something that's really going to pull some attention, you're going to want to check out Afnan, 9 p.m. Now, this is very new to my collection. This is very targeted. You have to like the Dior Homme scent profile. Super, like, lipstick, waxy, super powdery iris smell. I've been raving about this one since I got it. I did a full review. I'm a huge fan of this one. It is Pendora Scents Camaro Homme Intense from Paris Corner. Very leathery, woody take on vintage Dior Homme. A lot of iris here, guys. This smells so good. 5 sprays fills a room on my skin. I have learned that lesson with this fragrance. 5 sprays, I need to dial it back a little bit. This was one of the first fragrances that came to mind with this video topic. This one continues to impress me. I gave it a 9 out of 10 outstanding in first impressions, and I believe in the full review it was either 9 or a 9.5. But I'm in love with this one. This is one of the best pickups of the year for me because I'm such a huge fan of Dior Homme in the first place. The iris DNA of Dior Homme, one of the all-time greatest scent profiles to me personally. So when I got around to trying this, I like this better than my 2019 bottle of Dior Homme Intense, which is much sweeter than this. Not as loud, just as long-lasting. It's crazy long-lasting, but it's not as loud as this one. This is a much louder fragrance. Very strong on my skin. Just know it's very powdery. You have to like powdery iris. Soft, supple leather. There's a nice woody cedar type of smell to it. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of musk. Kind of formal, don't get me wrong, but I've been wearing it with a t-shirt and enjoying the hell out of it. Get your nose on this one if you're looking for a monstrous iris fragrance. You want to check out Pendora Scents Camaro Homme Intense. This is a brand new release from this year. The first time I wore it, I sprayed 6 sprays, and it filled the entire apartment. It's too much. I can't do 6 sprays anymore. My wife asked me to not spray it as much because it's just overwhelming at 6 sprays. So I think moving forward, I'm going to do like 4, and it's still going to be crazy strong. It is LATAFFA Bade'e ALOUD Sublime, their newest release. So this is super fruity tropical rose. It is so delightful. This is one of my favorite pickups of the year. Again, a huge fan of this one. This one's new to the collection. I've been raving about this one as well. This one literally took my breath away and derailed my train of thought in a first impressions on a live stream. Literally, people were able to see it live. Like it threw me off because I wasn't expecting it to just be so good. And it's full of lychee, plum, and red apple. Very exotic tropical punch, tropical fruit type of smell. My buddy Dedrick Hicks, shout out to Dedrick, related it to Hawaiian punch. That's fair. It has that red tropical fruity type of feel to it. It's a bunch of red fruits with what I believe to be a Turkish rose. It's just listed as rose because it does have a little bit of a watery aquatic feel to it. Not super watery, but a little bit of this fresh watery rose smell to go with all this tropical fruity sweetness. Softwoods in the backdrop, but like I said, it's all about the tropical fruits and the rose here. The color is very fitting. That is, the scent profile matches what you're seeing with this color. This is amazing. I picked it up for $35 from Fragrance Buy. It hasn't come back in stock yet at the recording of this, but when you can find this one again for around $35, I think it's a steal. Just know that you have to like fruity rose. It does lean a little feminine, don't get me wrong, but it smells like fruit punch. It's a great fragrance, and it's a monster. Warning, I sprayed 6 sprays and was told it was way too much. So 4 sprays moving forward it is for Lattafa's Bade'e ALOUD Sublime. Now this is one I've actually never sprayed more than 3 sprays because the sprays are monstrous. It's like 6 or 7 sprays from normal atomizers. This is basically an indie rendition of Beach Hut Man from Amouage. This is from Happyland Studios. It's called Wunderland. Bunch of galbanum, mint, very green. It'd be great if it would focus. Galbanum, minty green, a little woodsy. And you're about to see what I'm talking about with these sprays. Look at that. Earthy, fresh, minty green. All of that. So good. Very much in the same vein, walking the path of Beach Hut Man. I wouldn't call it one-to-one, but it's pretty damn close. I would assume that was the inspiration here. This, and more this. You don't need much. 3 of those monstrous sprays are kind of overwhelming, honestly. You could get away with 3 half sprays, which would be like 3 normal sprays in most atomizers, Dior's included, Dior atomizers, because it puts out a lot of fragrance oil and perfumer's alcohol. This is a high oil concentration. It's above 30%. I don't know the exact amount, but I know EJ typically does 30% or better on all of his fragrances. And it wears as such. Don't get me wrong, there's a vibrance, there's a brightness, there's a freshness, but it's a heavier wear. There's a little bit of earthy. You got to like galbanum, a lot of galbanum, green notes, mint leaf, very, very super green, but woody and a little earthy while still having this bright freshness. It's a beautiful fragrance. One of the best releases that's ever come out from the house. And like I said, 3 of these sprays, you're going to overwhelm yourself, let alone fill a room. And that's Happyland Studios, Wunderland. Another one that I had to dial back from 5 sprays down to 4. And the hotter it gets outside, the more I think I need 3 sprays. Did a full review on this one a while back. This is Nafaeis al Shaghaf pour Homme from Rasasi. I like saying it like that, Rasasi. So notice the color scheme, a little bit of the Invictus Aqua kind of color scheme. This is like walking through the garden across the street from the beach. Some of you have heard me say that before. So there's a nice yellow floral and rose core to this fragrance. There's some fruitiness. It does have a little bit of a sea breeze vibe without being really all that watery. It's a little powdery, very fruity and sweet. Super strong. Oh man, is this strong. It's only like $30. Another one that's punches so high above its price point. It's unreal with some of these fragrances, especially from these affordable Middle Eastern houses, your Rasasis and Afnans and Lattaffas and all of them. They all have some monsters for the money, I gotta say. And this one will overwhelm you if you're not careful. 3 sprays might even be too much for you. Depending on your skin chemistry, 1 spray Might get you all the attention you're looking for. Because like I said, this stuff, it's understated just how strong Nafaeis al Shaghaf actually is. Definitely check out my full review if you want to deep dive a little bit more. But just know you have to like rose, lang-a-lang, and fruity notes, because that is kind of the core of this. It's a sweet, powdery floral. It does have some woods and a little bit of a breezy tone that makes it feel of a summer vibe. But be wary of wearing it in high humidity. It might be way too much for you. Dial the sprays back, because it's an absolute monster. Again, that's Rasasi Nafaeis al Shaghaf pour Homme. Last but not least is a sub $30 darling. If you were looking for the best affordable alternative for Sauvage Elixir, because it is not one-to-one. This is more of an alternative inspiration than a direct clone. Another one from Lattafa called Asad. I've been a big fan of this one ever since the first time I smelled it. Did a full review last year. I do get a little bit of that pineapple note that's in here that's not in Sauvage Elixir. That adds a little bit more freshness to the top. Now, when you compare this to Sauvage Elixir is a nuclear, ridiculous, overwhelming performance. This is a beast. That is just unnecessary. You can do 2 sprays and fill every room with Sauvage Elixir. Here, 3, 4, 5, you get similar experience to what 2 sprays of Sauvage Elixir can do. This is still a beast. And absolutely, if you spray this one 5 times, at least on my skin, you're filling a room. There's a little bit of a dark roasted coffee feel to the heart. There's a coffee note, as well as you get all of that bright, aromatic, deep, rich, warm, spicy, woody tone that the Sauvage Elixir DNA is known for. Like I said, it's Sauvage Elixir with a few twists, a few turns where it's clear. That's what they were going for, but they did put their own little spin on it, and I actually quite like that about this fragrance. If you want more of a carbon copy clone, you want to check out Et Sauvage Elixir from Alexandria, but if you want a little bit more of a twist and you want to spend under $30, this is the one for you. Definitely fills a room on my skin with 5 sprays or less. Lattafa Asad. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Of these 10, what have you tried? Do they work that way on you? Are they as beastly for you as they are for me? Do you have the opposite, where it's like you just crazy nose blind, and you're like, bro, me and my girl can't smell it after 30 minutes. I hear that kind of stuff often, guys. Everybody's skin's different. I hear the reformulation talk. I hear all those things, and there's validity to a lot of different things. Every situation is different, so take what happens on my skin as a grain of salt, because there's no guarantees that it's going to do the same thing for you. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 10 and you give them a spray now, there's a chance you might thank me later. Have a good one, guys.